The 2023 Kia Sportage just came out. They start rolling into the dealer's lots a couple of weeks ago. I was back here at Gettle Kia of Bradenton, Florida, and I've done the X line, which is kind of the middle of the line, and that was very popular and became an instant hit between a smaller SUV buyers. But a lot of people are asking, hey, what do I get for the base price? I don't want all these fancy schmancy options on it. So today I'm really excited because I got just that. This is a base trim level LX front wheel drive. We're going to talk about the price in just a little bit, but today I'm going to take you on the tour of it. We're going to check it out from the exterior, interior. I'm going to jump inside of it, tell you what's different from the X line. At the end of this video, I'm going to take you for a spin in it. So if you're ready, let's go. Well, in front of it, you can see that it's a completely different model. 2023 has been redesigned. It's a new generation Kia Sportage, which looks really, really nice. And even with the base model of it, you do have the daytime running lights, which are LED, kind of in the shape of this boomerang right here on both sides. Now, this is the whole new headlight unit, and they have the LED headlights, but the turn signals are the incandescent one. Very plain hood, very nice. And if you were wondering what color this is, they call it the Snow White Pearl, and this is actually a premium color, about $350 or so. I'll post it in the description of this video as far as the sticker on this vehicle and the pricing. It's got this brand new Kia logo on here. There's a little bit of this polished aluminum trim right underneath here. There's a black accent in here, and then this portion right here, they used to call it the tiger nose. I guess they call it tiger face right now. So a little bit of change in here. This is open, allows for the maximum air to get inside of it, for the better aerodynamics, as well as helping with cooling off this engine, etc. Now this white color continues in the middle of here, and then it's finished off with the black at the bottom, but it also does have this pretty cool accents. They're non-functional, which I think it should be. Maybe a little bit of air curtains would help with the aerodynamics and the cooling as far as the brakes, etc. But Kia decided not to do it. There's no fog lights on this, but let's keep in mind, we're looking at this base trim level LX. Well, let's see what powers up this thing. Right underneath the hood, we see the same engine we've seen on the X Line Pro. This is the 2.5 liter engine, producing about 187 horsepower, 178 pound-feet of torque. So it's a little bit less than on the Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. Now, it's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and in this configuration sends the power to the front wheels. Nothing too crazy about this engine compartment. You do have some sound insulation underneath the hood. You still have this prop stick, unfortunately. I'm not sure why they can do a pneumatic strut on the Kia Soul, which is $20,000, but they can't do it on this, which is more expensive vehicle. Visual looks pretty cool. I like that when I did the X line. It's very similar to that. There's not too much of the chrome on it. There's a lot of black accent trims, etc. So you can see this black cladding around the front wheels. And if you look at the wheels, they're 17-inch wheels. These are standard equipment. 235/65 are the size of the tires, and the brand is Hankook. On this particular, I'm pretty sure that Kia is sticking with the Korean tire manufacturers as well too. Now there's a lot of cladding, this black cladding as well as at the bottom of these doors, but it's broken up with this trim piece that's its brushed aluminum color, so it doesn't look that bad. Mirrors are the same color as the rest of the vehicle. As you can see, there is no turn signal indicators on the mirrors anywhere right here. I don't see a blind spot assist in the mirror, so that might be available only on the higher end trims. not a standard equipment with this one. This one doesn't have the smart entry system. You would have to actually press the button on the key in order to unlock it. So you can't do it like on some of the higher trim levels where you basically just get it closer to the vehicle, touch it, and it's gonna open it up. Not a big deal. You still have the keyless entry system with the vehicle. And then the rest of it, as you can see, this is a pretty nice look of it. Although I would like to have this maybe in the shiny black versus the matte black. It would make it look a little bit nicer as far as the aesthetics on this vehicle. And you have this brushed aluminum trim that goes underneath here, and it ends in this pretty cool kind of diamond shaped trim piece at the back of it. Now this is it. Let's see how much room we have inside of it. Well, I mean, I do have plenty of room in front of my knees, and the front seat is adjusted to my regular driving position. In case you didn't know yet, I'm 6 feet tall, and I like to drive fairly comfortable, so the seat is pushed back a little bit than normal people would, I guess. And then as far as the adjustment on this seat, you can recline it so you can feel more comfortable, but there's no back and forth, so the seat is fixed, in other words. And as far as the interior, this is the base interior, it's pretty functional, so let's take a look at it. Before we do that though, I want to show you the key that comes with it. So we've seen the similar keys that come on all the other Kias, and then kind of this trigger button style key, if you will. They have the actual buttons on the edge of the key, and most of them have the push button start. Now, not this one. This is a switch blade key that the blade comes out once you push the button, and you actually have to turn it in the ignition to start it, so the old school way, so that you don't have the push button start on the base Kia as well. But we're going to talk a little bit more about it in the front. Let's take a look at the rest of this interior. We're going to start with the rear door panel right here, and you can see this is all plastic, and this is all one color basically. It's all blacked out. So you can see definitely a little bit of a cost savings versus the higher trim level. There's not even a padded armrest on here, but that's what you can expect with the vehicle in its class. Now, the nice part about it is this trim that goes around this door handle. I really dig it. It's kind of a simulated, I'm not sure if it's a carbon fiber, but it's definitely a nice trim that's around this aluminum looking door handle. At the bottom of here, you do have the speaker cover, and underneath the speaker cover you have a little bit of this polished aluminum trim that continues throughout the vehicle. Let's take a look at the seating area right here. So we're walking in here. If you look, the seats are cloth. They're not Syntax. They're not this man-made leather. They're very nice. They're very comfortable. They're a little bit on the firmer side, but most of the seats are these days. They do look durable. We're going to see how they hold up after a few years, I guess. And in the middle of here, you do have this armrest with the cup holders, so that's a nice feature. What else do we have in the backs of the seat? You have the cargo, basically pockets in the back. You do have your vents for the back seats, a little bit more storage right here. What I would probably like to see, it's some kind of connectivity, maybe a USB port, maybe a charger, especially in this day and age. You know, people need their power, so it doesn't have one here, and it does have, this is a front wheel drive architecture, but it does have this little hump in the middle. Not too bad, so 3 people can sit in comfortably, fairly, and then you can definitely slide your feet underneath the seat as well. So back of this car looks really nice, sleek and modern. We've seen it on the previous one, obviously. The only difference at the bottom of here, it's got a little bit different design than on the X-Line. You can see it's got this, a lot of this polished aluminum trim in here. It's got the reflector lights, got some sensors for the backup sensor, standard by the way. Now, as far as the lights, it does have the LED tail lights, but again, the turn signals are the incandescent light. Third brake light, shark fin antenna right here. I like how those 2 lights are connected through this piece. Now, I kind of wish it was like on the K5 where this thing would light up. It would be really, really cool, and it would be definitely a light signature of any of the Kia vehicles, so that would be pretty cool. Kia, new Kia logo on here. Now, the gate is not power, it is manpower, so you actually have to open it up by yourself. It is very light, I have to say. You just basically push the button and help it out a little bit, and then it goes by itself. And it opens nice and tall. Let's check out the roominess in the back. I gotta tell you, I'm pretty impressed with the amount of room it has in the back behind the rear seats. And you know, It's a smaller SUV. They grew so much. I remember like in 1995, those Kia Sportage was just tiny ones. Now they're a lot bigger. Now what else do we have here? We have a little bit light illuminating that cargo area in the back. There is an option for the cargo cover. This one doesn't have it. It also has the levers to unlock the seats, and the seats, as you can see, 60/40. Now I pushed my seat, too far to the back, which kind of gives you an idea that I like to drive comfortably. And if you see me inside of the back seat, it actually still left me quite a bit of room. Now I can fold them both down right here, boom, and that's how much room you have with the seats folded down. A couple other things I want to point out. One thing, you have this floor which is flat with the seats right now, and some other Kia models you can actually take this entire thing out and actually put it in a few inches below, giving you that additional room as far as the height. Now you can see there's no spare tire on this one. There is a cargo net, which is one of the 3 options that are on this vehicle, and right inside of here somewhere there's the tire mobility kit. But what I want to point out too, a lot of people saying, hey, you know what, if you don't have the spare tire, it's going to be a deal killer. You can order the spare tire with it. You're going to have to pay extra for it. Leave that, you have to take this out, basically take this divider out, this space, that's styrofoam, and put the spare tire in it, and you're set. Otherwise you have to deal with the tire mobility kit as standard equipment. As always, we're going to check out the quality of the car by shutting its door. But pretty nice, solid. And once we have the Ford front door, let's check out the design of it. Same thing as on the back. I wish they at least put a little bit of padding on the armrest right here. It feels really, really tough, probably uncomfortable for the longer drives. And other than that, what you have, your window mirror lock controls, and you have your little trim right here. You have your door handles, speaker. This is non-branded, so this is not a Harman Kardon stereo. Again, we're looking at the base model trim right here. A little bit more storage right here, and the seat is manual adjusted. Take a look at the design of the seat. Okay, nicely profiled. I sat in it. I haven't driven it for too long, so I'm going to give you an update once I'm driving this car. But before we do that, let's check out the rest of this interior. 2023 Kia Sportage LX. So it's not as cool as the X line, but it is very functional. And I gotta tell you, it's got a lot of electronics in it, so we're gonna explore it in detail. First of all, let's take a look at this. Okay, this is a soft plastic material, which is pretty cool on top. I like these vents. I like these vents, how they are set up and how they look visually, kind of fit in with this trim. And again, I really like this trim that's underneath here. This kind of, get this diamond look. It is textured as well, so you can, if you touch it, you can definitely feel the texture on it. We do have a glove box, of course, right at the bottom of here. And then moving on, and this just tells you that I didn't download the contacts, okay, because I didn't want to. We're going to go through the screen in just a little bit, but let's move to the steering wheel. So the steering wheel, it is the base Kia steering wheel, new Kia logo on it. On the left hand side, you do have a few buttons on it. You have the mode button, which is customizable. You also have this little star button that's also can be customized, and I'm going to show you where it's done. And then you have the volume button up and down, and that's basically, I think it's the stations on the radio. I'm going to check it out. Now you have the pages, basically what's going on in the instrument cluster. You have your cruise control settings, and you have the lane keep assist, and that's what you have in your steering wheel. Now as far as the instrument cluster, it is digital, even though this is a base trim, but I believe all of them get it the same way, kind of like on the Hyundai Tucson. Okay, no favorite feature, so you don't have this blind spot monitors on either side, and this is pretty safe, right? This is a pretty safe setup. You have the speedometer on the left hand side, and then tachometer on the right hand side, basically a trip in the middle. You can see the fuel, you have enough fuel for 143 miles, and then P, that's what your drive is right now. That's pretty much it. You do have, the speed limit sign, so at least it reads the signs. That's pretty cool. User settings, okay, you can actually customize the cluster theme. Okay, that's basically going to be linked to drive mode, and there's going to be theme A, B, and C. Or I'm just basically going to check it out. So theme A, that's what we have right now. B, that looks like a sport mode for me, and the C, It's basically the same, it just changes the colors, but that's pretty much the only changes that you can make. Wiper lights display, icy road warning, welcome sound. Okay, so this is pretty basic. Hit that one more time. Lights, door convenience. Let's see that. Rear occupant alert, that's actually on right now. I'm going to show you what that is. Outer rear wiper, okay, that's pretty cool when it starts raining. And then let's go back. Units, reset. Okay, doors, auto lock, auto unlock. Tire pressure, drive to display. Okay, lane keep assist. And then back to trip, user settings. So very simple, okay, but yet you still have pretty much everything that you need. Then we move on, and this is the smaller screen that Kia offers. This is the 8-inch screen, okay, basic one, which actually I'm kind of not sure, because I like the software on the higher end trim, but I don't like the idea of not having the wireless Android Auto or Apple CarPlay on the bigger screen, but you do have it with this one. It takes a minute to connect. I'm going to show you. I connected my phone right here. Okay, here's your Android Auto. Okay, here's all my apps that I have, you know, Spotify, all that stuff that I want to play. Android Auto, it's super cool, super easy to connect. I definitely like that. I don't know why Kia does it on the small screen, but not the big screen. But anyways, this is the car setup right there. This is the factory one. And then you have your main menu, all menus. So you can see on the higher end trims, you have this purple theme, right? You have a lot of the same functions. So phone, voice memo, radio, media, quiet mode, user's manual setup. In case for those of you that are wondering what the quiet mode is, basically limits the output of the front speakers, shuts off the rear speakers, just in case you have kids sleeping in the back. Voice memo allows you to record your memos and retrieve it at the later date. And then let's see what's in the setup. Device connections display. Here's the buttons. These are the where you customize the button. So you have the custom button on the audio, which is this one right here. You have the custom button on the steering wheel and mode button on the steering wheel. And these are the different functions that you can assign to these buttons, which is pretty cool. You know, this is the main screen, radio, media off, Android Auto, obviously. If I hit map, it's going to take the map from the Android Auto right there. So let's show Android Auto map. And then if I want to go back to the Kia screen, that's how I do it. Media, regular radio, FM, AM, Bluetooth audio, Android Auto, USB music. You can have Apple CarPlay if you are an Apple user. And this is it. This is what's inside of this infotainment system. Obviously, you have some shortcut buttons for the radio. Okay. Push for the volume. Okay, media. Seek track setup, tune, enter, and file. This is basically what you have on here. Moving down to the bottom, you have your hazard lights. Again, you have the vents. Okay, nice positioning. And then you have some shortcuts for climate control. Now, this is not an electronic climate control. It's just a regular climate control, so you have to manually adjust the fan and the temperature without the temperature showing up here. So that's one of the other differences that you have between this and the higher end trims. Now, you have some shortcut buttons. That's self-explanatory. If you've ever driven a car, you know what they mean, right? The bottom of here, right there, you have the USB-C ports. Okay, no wireless charging here, just a regular pad right there. And then you have your regular shifter, okay, parking, reverse, neutral, drive. You can put it in the manual mode, so there's manual mode. If you put it all the way here, move it to the left, the gear shifter, you're going to be able to actually move this level up and down to upshift and downshift gears. So you see the base model, you don't have any heated, ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, anything like this, which basically what these would be used for. And right here you have the drive mode selector. So as you can see, we have 3 different drive modes. I showed you that before on the screen, but they are sport, smart, and normal. So the regular Kia drive modes, and then you have your hill descent assist, parking sensors, auto hold, Okay, that's basically for your brakes. You put that on, you push your brake in, you let it off. The brake, even if you're in gear, you're not going to start driving until you hit the gas. And then we have the automatic engine shut off button off, so you can turn that feature off on the vehicle. And you have the rear view camera, and since we're here, let's take a quick look at it. Decent camera quality. Okay, it's not the greatest. We've seen the same camera on the cheaper Kias, and I think it's a lot of room for improvement, but again, this is what you get for the base one. Not gonna ding it for it, because that's basically in line with the competition. Before we get back down, I'll show you. See, the key, you actually have to turn it in the ignition, so no push button start on this base model Kia. Like the cup holders, turn into like the storage. It looks like this lazy river around here. And if you want a cup holder, you press these buttons. There you go. These two things pop out, and then you can put your drinks in here however you want to do it. More storage compartment right in there. This is it. On the interior, we're pretty much done. The only thing left to see is what's on the console overhead. And the only thing you have is your light controls, and you know, this is basically that when the door opens, the light will go on, or you can turn that feature off, and that's basically it. Do we don't even have a light in here. Hey guys, how are you? But you do have mirrors on the driver's side and the passenger side right there. You have mirrors on both sides. That's a plus. That's it. Let's see how it drives. Well, check it out, guys. I have the sticker in my hand, and it is a 2023 Sportage LX front-wheel drive. Base MSRP $25,990. There's 3 different options added to this vehicle. One of them is the Snow White Pearl color. It's $395. Then you have the floor mats, and for $155, and the cargo net, which was seen in the back for $50. Total MSRP $27,805. That's before the dealer add-ons and all that stuff, but $27,805 is the basic MSRP for this vehicle. So it is basically as close to the base as it gets if you didn't like the color, because there's nothing that's added to this vehicle other than something you can really, like, you know, take out the floor mats and it won't be there. The color, if you go for the regular white, I think there's a regular white, you're not going to have to spend the $395. But nothing as far as electronics have been upgraded, nothing as far as the drivetrain. So all you see in this vehicle is base one. Okay, one thing we didn't talk about is the gas mileage. 28 is the combined miles per gallon, and that means that it gets 25 in the city, 32 on the expressway. So it is okay. It's basically in line with the competition. It's nothing to wow about. And like I said before, the hybrids are coming, and that's going to be another thing. That's going to be more powerful and better gas mileage. So that's going to be exciting. I'm told they're not out allocated yet, but I'm telling you that there's going to be a Pro X, which is the top of the line, that's coming in next month to this dealership. So I'm going to make sure that I come back and do that for you guys. With that said, what I would like to ask you guys is check out the rest of my channel. Consider subscribing. I really want to get to 10,000 subscribers this year. I'm at 4,000 as of filming of this video, so I have a long way to go, but I know you guys can help me. Please do hit up the subscribe button, give me the like, keeps me pumped up, and let's go take it for a spin now. We already checked out the backup camera, so we're not going to go through that. However, what I want to do is I want to turn it around 360 degrees and see how tight the turning radius is. So we're going to go back in the middle of the lot and do just that, all the way to my left, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 parking spots to turn this vehicle fully around, which is not bad at all. Definitely in line with other smaller SUVs, and we're going to take it on the road and see how it handles. I like the visibility on this vehicle. You kind of sink in. The seat is kind of low, so the windshield is still, you know, at your eye level and a little bit higher, but it gives you that nice commanding view of the road, which is pretty cool. It does have a lot of visibility, including those little windows right by the mirrors. That definitely gives you a lot of better angle, a lot of better view than if it didn't have one. And of course, we're probably in the worst possible traffic situation because it is about 6 p.m. so everybody's trying to get home, and we're here trying to test the acceleration of the vehicle. But like I said before, guys, this is my hobby. This is my part-time. I do that. I do have the real job too, so I'd be sitting in traffic if I wasn't filming it, so that's actually pretty cool. Merge with traffic. Well, that wasn't hard to do, but the traffic is not moving really fast. So 0 to 30 was pretty good. I'm gonna check out, you know, a little bit faster acceleration. I'm not saying we're gonna do 0 to 60, but at least better than that. All right, so I hear some wind noise, and I didn't. Okay, all my windows are closed. I want to make sure of that before I start saying something. But a little bit of wind noise. It looks like it's coming right from the driver's side. Not too bad. No road noise almost, which is really nice, which means that the tires are doing their job. They're all season tires, like I said, they're Kumos. That's the standard equipment on this 17-inch rim. Even if you go over some bumps, they don't feel very loud. I'm going to accelerate. Alright, we're not going to go any further than about 45, 48. You can definitely get the gist of it. I mean, it is enough to get you in and out of traffic. It's not going to be the fastest thing out there, but it's going to do the job. And it's very much in line with its competition, although I do feel like the Honda CR-V that I did with this turbocharged engine did a little bit better job. Of course, it had like 203 horsepower, so a little bit more. And I'm curious of what these are going to be with the hybrid. So they're going to have about 50 or 60 horsepower more than this one right now, and obviously in the same body, so they could be interesting. So I think I like it. I think it's a very solid entry level into the Sportage vehicle. It feels good. It feels that it's put together very well. Of course, it's covered by the same warranty as all the rest of Kia models, and that's 5 years 60 limited basic warranty, that 10 years 100,000 miles powertrain warranty, which is best in the business right now. Of course, it's got the 5 year 60,000 miles roadside assistance, and that's important because if you do get stuck, if something breaks down, you do have 5 years or 60,000 miles to use that roadside assistance to get you towed in for a free repair at the Kia dealership. So you get the drill, right? Well, guys, I like this vehicle. I'm really excited when it comes to the newcomers to the vehicles, and especially with Kias, because they came a long way since they started, especially since they started with the Sportages. Now, the Sportages were just tiny little vehicles. They, you know, were not very good at first, and now here we're looking at one that's one of the best vehicles in its class. So thank you again. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Again, hit that subscribe button, helps me out a lot. Give me a like, it keeps me pumped up, and until then, I will see you in my next video. Cheers.